This is Sims, and we are back with more Cafe Enchante, and we are just continuing Il's route. We had a lovely touching moment with him in the last part, folding laundry, or putting out the laundry to dry. Anyway. And we're just continuing. We are in chapter 2, maybe the middle or the end? I'm not sure. You know, somewhere. Probably get into chapter 3 today, who knows? We'll find out. Anyway. That same day, in the evening, I booted up the Otome game I had received from Mr. Assistant and began to play it. Well, not quite. I didn't really play it. I just got through the opening movie. So, like 5 minutes. Kororo sits... Oh, Kororo sits on my lap, staring at the game screen, seemingly out of deep interest. Something about its story struck me. The genre of this game... It's a girl who owns a cafe and there's magical beings in it. Fucking weird. Oh, so this is the game. Oh! Is fantasy. A world where magic is perfectly normal. The main character owns a general goods store. Cafe. In other words, you're the heroine. Famous magicians and royalty, among others, come to visit. Players can romance men of all statuses. Can romance man of all statuses. A man of all statuses. Wow, just one. She's a shop owner, just like me. We're pretty similar. Maybe I'll be able to relate. The first choice appeared. This will raise affection level with someone, won't it? Without hesitation, I picked the choice that I think would raise affection level with the demure young man Il had recommended to me. Thank you kindly. This is the item I was searching for. To think you would help me locate such a rare item. I did it! That raised his affection level, I think. Kororo makes a fist and takes up a guts pose with me. What? Before I started, I wondered if I would struggle to play it correctly. In fact, I thought I'd totally suck. Well, that's the fun thing about Otome games. You can absolutely suck at every other game in the world. And you cannot lose an Otome game. I mean, you could get a bad ending, but then you just go back and start over. You know what I mean? So it's like... It's not like other games where you're like, I've been playing the same level, like a platformer game, for like 4 hours, and I can't get, you know, fuck this shit, and then you're done. Like every other game that requires any kind of like button mashing skill. Like quick time events are fucking hard, but it's usually like push the X button, push the triangle, push the square, and I never know which one's which, okay? I can never fucking remember. You've seen how I am with this, like, which fucking button is it to skip? How long have I been... Never, okay? So I am that bad. That's why games with quick time events are like, this is about like a visual novel with quick time events. Fuck, oh my god. But we've, like, played all the Quantic Dreams games, but that's basically those. That's the... As far as I can go past the visual novel. You can't fuck up an Otome game. I mean, you kind of can if you get the bad ending, but that's what guides are for and shit, so... Like, it's a choose-your-own-adventure. You know, you're reading a choose-your-own-adventure, and then you died. Fuck, let me go back. Choose-your-own-adventure. And then you died. Fuck! Anyway. I thought I'd totally suck. Well... It had various concerns, but actually playing it wasn't too bad. At this rate, I'll be able to talk about Otome games as much as he does. When I begin to think of Il... Are we getting flashbacks to that CG? Yes, lovely. Suddenly, I recall his smile, his excitement for having changed, and the way he credited me. How Il smiled at me like a flower gently blooming. A smiling face of his I'd never seen, that didn't seem like his. As I think it over, I start to feel... I like it. A pure, genuine goodwill. When I received it so directly. Just then, my hand stopped. Kororo began to tap me with his arms as if something was off. Huh? Of course I was talking about a smile, you know? I don't know what... Kiwi? Don't know what noise he's making. I started making excuses to Kororo without much thought. I coughed in a forced way to clear my throat, then returned my attention to the Otome game. But this person, just as Il said, is full of mystery. He won't even say his name, so they just call him Mysterious Young Man the whole time. Will he tell me if we get closer? But I think I'd enjoy it. A real feeling. The process of growing closer. I'm feeling more motivated. I'll do my best to complete it. Several days later, I take a break from playing the Atome game. After several days? Girl, you should be done with it by now. Phew, I'm finally out of Enchante. For once, I wasn't leaving just to restock ingredients. My own private outing. It seems I'm not the only one who had a big change in feelings after that matter. Well, why are you all obstructing me? If she's going out, then I shall accompany her. You deaf! She said she doesn't want company. That's right. It's one thing if she asks you to carry bags, but interrupting a girl's shopping trip is uncouth. Spacey, we shall hold ill back. You should depart now. Okay, then I'll be going now. Aw, he's so clingy. No, wait! Please don't leave me behind! Spacey! Spacey! Every time I try to leave for work, am I burned? Why are you leaving me? When you leave your pets to go to work. But it's okay, I'll be back. His sad cries elicits a feeling of guilt from me. That's exactly when you leave your pets to go to work. It was, according to Ignis, like a baby bird following its parent, and it opened his heart to me. His parent, huh? It left me with a hollow feeling. Like, being totally honest, I would rather be looked at in a different light. No. Why am I acting so full of myself? I shake off my idle thoughts and start walking in search of a boutique with next season's trends available. Huh. Could you be Spacey? Huh? A passerby calls my name, so I stop to turn around. She's a little older than I remember, but I wouldn't fail to recognize her. There, I see a friend from high school, beaming with a bright smile. Okay, so I didn't know who it was. I knew it! Spacey! Small world! I never thought I'd run into you in a place like this. I'm surprised too. When did you move to the city? I didn't quite move. I'm visiting my older sister since she works here. But I see! So this is where you moved off to. Delighted by our reunion, we join hands and bounce excitedly. I've never done that with anyone. Never, but okay. Hey, since we're here, how about we go somewhere and catch up? You simply must catch me up on all the hot gossip I've missed. Yeah, of course. Hot gossip for what? I got nothing. After getting takeout coffee from a cafe, we leisurely sit down on a bench in a nearby park. How do you tell her, like, I run my grandfather's cafe that you can never visit because weird people live there and join there and you're probably never going to be able to find it because they don't actually run anything. Like, judging from the aroma and strong acidity, these beans must be based from Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, a brand of coffee bean and a variety cultivated around Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. It's widely known for its sweet aroma and acidity. I look down at my blended coffee and my paper from the perspective of a cafe owner. In my paper? I'm assuming paper cup, you know. I take a sip for research, thinking it might have a more nuanced flavor profile. You can tell? Oh, it's just a guess. I guess I drink so much coffee that I'm developing a palate for it. Now that you mention it, you own a cafe now, right? As I move to ask her how she knows, I remember that some of her relatives are entrepreneurs, so I consulted her. If you don't mind, could I visit your shop sometime? Yeah, of course. If I tell everyone beforehand, they can either hide or pretend, so there shouldn't be any issue. I see. You've always been a great chef, Spacey. How's business? Good, I assume? Decent, I guess? I make ends meet thanks to some regulars. Huh? So you have regulars? What kind of people are they? Oh, you know, like, they're not people. There's like a demon and a headless knight. Huh? They're 5 men, I guess? Men? And there's 5 of them? Yeah. Why are your eyes gleaming like that? Well, you know, moving to a new city means a fresh start. It never hurts to make some new friends, right? New friends. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Why are you winking and nudging me? Like, hope this isn't too forward, but are you into any of them? We've never talked about your love life. I nearly choke on my coffee. Into them? Isn't... I didn't take after my grandpa's work to do things like that. Then, is there anyone you like? That's... Remain silent. I'm a worker. Not exactly. None of these are good answers, right? Remain silent. That's like a... No? Well, I don't know how to answer this. I'm a workaholic. Glaring no. Not exactly. It's like, I don't know. If I wanted to, I could derail the topic or dodge the question. But, I'm not really sure what it means yet, but... Yes, go on. There's someone in my life, but I can't quite place what it is we've got. Okay, that's a little bit better of an answer, but it's still like, not exactly. What does that mean? Maybe I had subconscious desire to speak with someone about these feelings that suddenly sprouted inside me. I give in and I give in and start slowly confessing it. Well, it really is just someone I'm curious about. He's a bit off from normal people and clumsy. At first I felt like I couldn't just abandon him and thought it was cute, but I'm aware that I'm turning bright red. But once I start talking, I couldn't stop. When things heated up, he made such a lovely smile, and I realized he's a man, too. That straightforwardness and purity, something about it intrigues me, or so I think. Sometimes. Maybe. This silence is embarrassing. At least make some sort of comment! Oh, but it's not like wanting to date or anything. It's not a desire like that. Our relationship doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Finally, despite her saying nothing, I start making excuses. Huh, I see. Well, she was puzzled at first. After hearing my answer, she seems to nod. Follow your heart. I'll be rooting for you. You don't need to. She's holding her thumb up and making a sly face at me, and I shout back in response. Oh, it's already this late. We talked for a while. Oh, well, if we're going to get coffee, we should have gone to your place. True. And next time you're around, let me know. I'll welcome you. And if I'm too busy during the day, you can drop by after closing time. I got it. I'll be in town for a while, so call me if anything happens. It's been so long since I've seen her that I couldn't help from talking a lot. It seems I've been thinking about Il more than I anticipated. How interesting. And I didn't even get to go goddamn shopping. After a slight detour, I finished shopping and the sun had set. The air seems strangely moist. The weather report said it would be clear all day. To check again, I take out my smartphone and open the weather app. Oops! I accidentally opened the SNS app next to it. I guess I can just look there for weather information. I casually open up the search menu. Because of my current location, a popular news article from my area is pinned to the top. Normally I just ignore such things, but... Mysterious disappearances. My eyes honed in on these strange words. That reminds me, Ignis was reading an article about that earlier. I get a little curious, so I squint at the fine print. We're gonna get kidnapped by that fucking angel, aren't we? In this part of town, right where I stood. In other words, in the area near Enchante, there were several mysterious disappearances occurring. Mysterious disappearances! Sudden disappearances... Whoops. Tour guide Spacey can't read either. Sudden disappearances of people with no prior warning or trace, as though it's the work of a god. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or angels. There are currently around 5 victims. They were last spotted at night before allegedly being abducted in back alleys. Okay, don't go into back alleys. We're end up going into a fucking back alley, aren't we? For some reason, they never came back out and vanished completely. That's right, without leaving a trace. There are already multiple search requests registered with the police. There's a chance it was overblown as it wasn't reported on TV yet. This isn't good. Doesn't bode well for us right now. This town, in this area, at night, I look up into the starry night sky and quietly put my smartphone away. We should call someone at Enchante and be like, hey, so just keep talking to me because I'm in an area where people keep getting abducted at night and it's nighttime, so help me. I wonder why I'm suddenly getting scared. While a mysterious disappearance has an unrealistic sound to it, it's still true that people have gone missing in this area and that fans my fear. Luckily, there are still a lot of people around. I should go home before it gets really dark. Maybe because it's dinner time, the streets get less and less populated and I can hear my footsteps echo as I walk. No, that's not possible. I only just read that news. It wouldn't happen to me right after... No! Stop! I hear a faint shout. It's a woman's voice, I think. The source of the voice was in the back of a dark, barrow alley stretching between nearby buildings. Dark. I think it's supposed to be narrow alley, not a barrow alley. It's supposed to be narrow. I was like thinking, what's a barrow alley? Is that like some kind of it? I was like, it's probably narrow. Wow. Yeah, okay, I'm a genius. Yeah, we're gonna go. No, girl, this is 911 or whatever 911 is in Japan. Okay. Whatever. Hi. Yeah, I'm hearing a lady in a narrow alley and she's screaming for help and I'm not going down there because I ain't getting disappeared either. Okay. For a moment, the darkness makes me hesitate. But I heard it. If I ignored it and went home, it would definitely bother me. Girl, don't. I hold my smartphone in one hand so I can call for help right away if need be and leap into the alley. No, call for help before. I heard something in an alley and maybe it's nothing, but like I would feel really guilty if I didn't call and have you check it out just in case it's somebody getting disappeared. Like, okay. Relying on only what I heard, I checked the surroundings, but... Well, where'd they go? Is anyone there? I tried calling out, but as expected, there's no reply. Just then, slightly, I noticed something at my feet that stands out a little. What could this be? Glowing feather. I know it's something. I can't describe it. Considering the feeling from my fingers, I can tell it's something soft, but due to the faint light engulfing it, the outline is too blurry to tell. It's either a feather or a maxi pad, okay? Because it's like the way they're curved on boxes. It's like a fuzzy outline, like... There's no sign of anyone. I rushed over pretty quick, so I figured I'd at least see a silhouette if something was happening here. So then, what was that shout? This area has a lot of bars. Maybe the rowdy voices of people echoed through here. Maybe? I don't know the truth, but there was no mistaking this is a dark place. In fact, if I stayed here, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. Without thinking about it, I put something I picked up in my bag and decided to leave in a hurry. Spacey! Huh? Ill? At the same time I emerge from the alley, Ill comes swooping down from the night sky. And only slightly after, Canis appears from the path to Enchante. That was shocking. Did you come all the way here like that? Yes, and the night is growing late, so I received permission to fetch you. Please don't worry, I shrouded myself in magic to hide my form. If you simply didn't fly in the first place. Apologies, it seems he wished to see you even a moment sooner. Please don't reproach him. It's fine. In fact, I feel relieved. I was a little scared to go home by myself. Scared? Did something happen? I give the two of them a brief explanation of the incidents in the news. Mysterious disappearances, you say? Such strange things to occur. However, I'm here now. No matter what happens, I will protect you, so please don't worry. I'm sure. I'll rely on you. But just in case, we decided to hurry back to Enchante to avoid such an incident. Well, they're not going to kidnap 3 of you. I mean, they might. You never know. Oh, right, Ill. About that game. I started playing through it seriously. Ah, at last. How is it? What are your thoughts on the game thus far? It's still not in any individual's route. I think I'm just about to start, though. You put it best. It's certainly interesting. The world setting is well put together, and I can easily empathize with the heroine. And right now I'm pursuing the character you recommended to me. So you chose him. He's... Ah, right. No spoilers allowed. Ugh. You must hurry so that we may converse about it. How unbearable. With a lively conversation, I walked beside Il all the way home. And that's why we play these games. Like, I'm playing them, and I'm experiencing them. Oh my god, guys, you see what's happening! And you get to, we have that, it's like back and forth, but it's like one-sided. So, like, I'm saying things, and then you're saying things back, but I don't hear you, but you also, like, you know, you hear me. Okay, so it's like one-sided for me. But, like, whatever. But, you know, but they're still, hi, we're experiencing, what? You know, it's more fun when you experience things the first time. Like, when you have to go back and you play again. You know, when your hard drive crashes and you have to go back and repeat 40 hours worth of fucking work. I'm not over it, okay? I'm never gonna be over it. Right? That was trauma. I have PTSD. Traumatized by this. But, like, it's not as much fun when you have to go back, or, like, anytime you, like, lose a part because, like, your audio wasn't recording or something and you've got to go back and re-record and you're like, shit, it's not the same because your instant reactions, like, most of the time, okay, shit happens and you're like, okay, it's fine. But there are, every once in a while, there's games where you're like, what is happening here? What? And, like, your first time reaction is going to be, like, just amazing. Like, you know, like Seven Scarlet. Like, could you imagine if in the true route I had to re-record that? But it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same. I will never be the same after playing that game, and I need a moment. Anyway. Kenneth is walking a step behind, warmly watching over us, I think. He's being a good wingman, even though he doesn't have wings. I'm back, Kororo! When I return to my room, I do a dancing turn with a welcoming Kororo in my arms. Then I sit on my bed and point to the game console I left. When I started thinking about this game, Il smiled gleefully again. I started thinking or talking? Talking. I read it wrong. It's talking. For Il's sake, too, I must hurry and finish it. Pew! Like yesterday, I boot up the game with Kororo in my lap. It seems Kororo has taken a liking to this setup, too. Let's see. The story so far was... Do we get to play the whole Otome game? Like, you know, just like a synopsis of it, but that's exciting. We're playing an Otome in an Otome. It's amazing. Just before entering the individual route, the heroine fails a job entrusted to her and becomes depressed. She sits miserably? Or miserly? That sounds like miserly in the park, but miserably in the park. There appears... What's wrong? You seem perturbed. Is there anything I could do to help? Mysterious young man. The elegant yet esoteric young man smiles softly. But this person, on closer inspection... He speaks politely and is super mellow. He kind of reminds me of Il. Oh my god, they're gonna put it... She's gonna be imagining him as she plays. As I smile over it, I slowly press the confirm button. I have taken a liking to your natural smiling face. In order to reclaim it, I would do anything, even if it meant taking the world on. I mean, that was fast. We've, like, been playing for a couple hours. What? You? Huh. I feel like I've heard that line before. Maybe. You're like, Il, are you just spouting Otome lines at me? Might win me over. You never know. Shortly before Enchante's opening time, before the owner Spacey made her way downstairs, 5 of the shop's regulars surround the table with serious expressions. And the mysterious disappearances are related to another world, or non-humans, you say? The subject concerns the rumors which had circulated as of late, all about the mysterious disappearance incidents. It's too early for this crap. Even if they are beings from another dimension, that has nothing to do with Enchante, right? Pretty much. Even I know it has no direct connection to you. However, we've detected traces of strange spells. If possible, Miser and Il, since you two specialize in magic, I'd like to request your help with analysis. Miser and Il exchange a look, prompting Il to lift his eyebrow. While Enchante is unrelated, the disappearances took place not far from it. I suspect that a wormhole opening may explain the string of disappearances. The alternative, however, is disconcerting to ponder. Also, just in case, if she happened to be the target, we should prepare for the worst. Each regular contemplates this thought themselves. Hold it. Regardless of the case, it would be best to talk to her about it too. Spacey, good morning. You woke up rather late today. Is something wrong? Is something stuck to my face? Sorry, Il. I'm just half asleep. Also, why is everyone here? Even Rindo's here so early. About that. Now back to me. Thanks to the regulars, I was up to speed. And truth be told, last night, it occurred just around the corner in an alley off the main street. A young woman disappeared. And this time around 2000. Is that 20? Is it... Like I say 0800, but is it 2000 hours? Is that how you say it? It's always weird when it's... Yeah, because it's 2100. 2000 just sounds fucking weird to say. You know what I mean? The time and place takes me back. Takes me aback, sorry. No! Stop! Don't tell me... Could that have been the scream I overheard? Huh? What's with you? Were you out there or something? I didn't see it directly, but I thought I heard a scream. I thought it was my imagination, so I didn't look into it. That's a load of crap! You did look into it! You ran down the alley! Does she not remember going down the alley? That's not your fault. If you know nothing more, then for now we must treat it as a simple rumor. You're right. Even if you were to reach the woman just as she vanished, you may not have been able to save her. In fact, you may have been taken as well. The mere possibility causes my hair to stand. For now, I'll save my regrets for later. Does she not remember going down in the alley? Because, like, she's like, I thought I imagined it, I didn't do anything, but you did do something. Like, I went into the alley and I didn't find anything. That's totally different than I did nothing. I had to focus on the situation and look out for any possible clues. When Rindo asked me to elaborate... Possible clues? Just then I recalled a certain item. Okay, so you remember you went down in the alley. Why did you say I didn't think of anything of it? Like, that's totally, like, not what fucking happened. Like... No, please wait just a minute. Like, I went into the alley and I saw nothing. I thought I heard a scream. I went into the alley to help and there was nothing there. So I just assumed I imagined it. That's totally different than I did nothing. Like, I hurried to my own room and returned back down with my bag. Last night I picked something up at the scene, but I don't really know what it is. You don't know? What the hell's that supposed to mean? I couldn't quite see it. It didn't have a shape. It was hard to make out. You couldn't see it. The plot is thickening. Well, it would be faster to show than explain, so I began to rummage through my bag. Wait, but the inside of my bag is dark. Did that mysterious light vanish? With little choice, I searched through the bag with just the shop's lighting and the feeling of my fingers. Then, I think this is it. I found something white in my bag. Without knowing what the item was, I pulled it out and I go to hand it over to Rindo. It's a maxi pad. I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay, it's a fucking feather. But see how it's got, like, when it was, like, glowy, it's got, like, that curve, and that's how they put them on packages. You're like, you knew it was a feather. And it was like, it's glowing and I can't quite see it. It's a weird shape. And you're like, it's a feather, but the way they blurred it, it's like, I mean, you could have just... Like, you never know. What? This is... With the movement of Rindo's hand, it glimmers in the sunlight. In exchange for its diminishing glow, however, we see that it's a single white, soft, and lovely feather. Disappearances related to non-humans. The strange object found at the scene was a stark white feather. Everyone looks at Il. I wasn't there. All of us realized at once. An angel's feather? Everyone's gaze focuses on Il. I told you they were all gonna look at him! Il, do you know something about this? Candace asked in a low voice, and that moment... Il Il clutches his chest and collapses on the spot. Il? Oh, that's me. Il? Hey, what happened? We hurriedly call to him, but he doesn't answer us. With raised nails, he tears at his chest. Normally, beautiful songs flowed through those full, beautiful lips, but now there were only dry, disorderly gasps. Rindo, hide the feather! I got it. Oh, that wasn't really his voice, but... Rindo follows Miser's demand and stows the feather in his pocket. As though he's forgotten how to breathe, Il continues to struggle. I quickly stoop down, rubbing his back as he agonizes. Il, calm down. Slow down. Take deep breaths. Owner. After rubbing him for a while, I start patting at regular intervals to remind him of the breathing rhythm. As I repeat this, while still slight, Il began to normalize. However, he's still in no condition to talk. Candace, would you mind carrying Il to his room? I understand. While holding Il, Candace marched to the second floor. The once noisy cafe interior flips, and a dull silence filled the room. After checking to make sure Il is out of sight, Rindo once again takes the feather out. What could have happened to Il? A pure white angel feather. Its beauty befits the word divine. But it was almost too beautiful. Almost like it was sterile, too cold to be admired in any kind of intimate way. Now back to Il. Timing right when Candace opened the door, I take the opportunity to leap inside alone. I shut the door. And then I place a powerful barrier on it to ward off any guests. I think it's supposed to be guests. What are you doing, Il? One of us needs to watch over you until your condition improves. I'm okay. I'll be fine, so... For now, leave me alone. Please. Perhaps out of heeding my begging, I hear Candace's footsteps grow faint as he walked away. Without turning on the lights, I clutch my chest once more and sit feebly on the floor. That feather is... Why would something like that be in the human world? It couldn't be. Are the other angels searching for me? Calm down. It's simply a coincidence. I desperately tell myself, as if letting down my guard would stop my breathing. However, what if it's not a coincidence? What if the angels are related to the mysterious disappearances? And if by chance they come in contact with Enchante? If Spacey becomes involved, the girl who adores my smiling face, and my identity, what if they tell her? Oh, interesting. Oh, Il, what are you hiding? We know you're a fallen angel, but we don't know why. I ponder the future in panic. I can tell I've gone pale without looking in the mirror. What entered my view was the presence of a certain thing in this room. Here, finally, truly at last, I realize that I've committed a terrible blunder. That's right. If she plays through that title, will she discover my true identity? Wait a minute. Is he a character from an Otome game come to life? Because that would be fucking fun. He's a fallen angel! Not really. I was actually a character in an Otome game and I came to life. Or did he steal his identity from the game? Because when she was like saying, when we said earlier, like, I've heard those lines before, it was like, did Il steal them from the game? So you're trying, this is getting so intriguing. I can't see my own face, but I touch my cold hand to my cheek and remember, and then she said like, oh, he reminds me of Il, like for some reason, and it's like, but it's weird how he'd be like, I played this game and this character's my favorite, the one that was actually me, for some bizarre reason, you know what I mean? Like, I'm confused. I don't know how it's all gonna work out, but it's intriguing. My trembling fingertips check the parts composing my face one by one. Above the eyelids, The cheeks and the mouth. What do I look like right now? What kind of face am I making? Maybe his face isn't his real face. Isn't it distorted? Isn't something missing? Spacey said she likes my smiling face. And then, what will she make of my false smile? Interesting. Ooh, no. No more need for assumptions. Without reason, my head says such a warning. First, I must take countermeasures in response to the current crisis. To do that, I need to think. I must return to my usual self. This is gonna be so interesting. I mean, I am so intrigued. After that, I tried visiting Ill's room several times with Miser and the others, but for some reason he staunchly refuses any entries, so we can't even see his condition. For the time, until Ill comes down, we entrusted the mysterious disappearance investigation to Rindo. It's late. Miser's gone to the demon world. Canis and Ignis went out shopping for things possibly useful to nurse Ill. As for me, it's been a while, but I opened the book Grandpa left me. A section on angels. Here it is. I trace along the letters with my finger, following the text and illustrations. Envoys of God, a race brimming with benevolence, watchers over humanity. That's not too far from the image I always had of them. In that case, it seemed unlikely that such beings would get wrapped up in kidnappings. But seeing how an angel's feather was left at the scene, it can't be a coincidence. And moreover, I'm concerned about Ill's terrified reaction. I noticed my game console left forgotten on top of the table. That's right, I left it in sleep mode. I can't really focus like this. I should power it off completely. As the thought comes to mind, I reach for the game console. But the moment I wake it from sleep mode, the Otome game I was playing before begins to play automatically. Oh right, I had it on auto mode. Before I can press the stop button... You needn't worry. With a wound like this, I need only the thought of you to survive. The mysterious young man's line plays. Right. The heroine had been attacked by an animal in the forest and he had saved her. As I switch the power off, I think to myself, the more I play, the more I see Ill in this guy, which is so intriguing now with the whole, does she know, oh my blender, she'll know who I really am. Again, did you leap out of the fucking Otome game? Or did you steal your identity from him? You were this is the first game I played and I love this character so much I became the character? What's going on here? I'm just saying. He went beyond a surface observation. His expressions, tones, even remarks. Wait, could he be copying this character out of respect because he likes him so much, maybe? Okay, so see, totally a legit assumption, because I just made that. Okay, but if she's making that assumption, I feel like that's not the right answer, because it would be wait, we're halfway through the route, okay? A little bit more than, right? So, at this point, the character's gonna make an assumption. Oh my god, usually he's lying to me! He's not lying to you! Oh my god. There's always gotta be some weird, so this is the, he's copying the character? It's something more than that, then. If that's where the game went, it's more than that. If she was did he, leap out of the Otome game? Is this really Ill? He's is magic really real? Then they would be haha, that's silly, that's not what's happening, but... Now he's not just copying the characters, there's something else going on, and who knows what it is. I wouldn't know for sure without asking, but that seems like something he would do. How like Ill. I put the game and book away on the shelf, then psych myself up a little. For now, maybe I'll make a float or something, to help soothe Ill's nerves. As I think this and exit my room... Right when I descend to the second floor, I come across Ill emerging out of his own room. Ill, are you feeling better? Yes, somewhat. Forgive me for concerning you. Ill's tone as he speaks has mellowed completely. His breathing also looks steady. Considering how shaken up he was, I thought it would take a long time for him to calm down, but... Hey, do you mind if I ask, what got you so shaken up earlier? He tilts his head at me. It seems Il was already anticipating that I would ask it. He makes a small nod, then answers in a low bellow. It's because I'm a fallen angel. If I'm discovered and caught by normal angels, they would punish me or force me into some kind of re-education. I mean, that makes legit sense. I feel like there's so much more to it, but that makes absolute fucking sense. Punish you? It was an ominous statement, but seeing how frightened Il was, there's no mistaking it was a severe punishment. I see, but I don't want to pry too much, only to disturb him once again. For now, I'll just be content that Il is so lively again. Spacey, do you have a moment? About that game, how far... A ringtone goes off, interrupting his question. He's like, how far have you gotten in the game? She's like, I'm still where I was. Oh, thank God. He's gonna steal my game. Oh, that's me. Sorry, just a second. I thought it would be from Rindo calling after returning to GPM. But the name displayed on screen belongs to an unexpected person. Hello? Sorry for calling you out of the blue. It's the cheerful voice of my old friend with whom I reunited the other day. Her voice is a little on the loud side, so I'm sure Il, who stood right next to me, could hear her. No worries, I just happened to be on break. What's up? I know it's a bit late, but do you mind if I come through? Huh? Come through where? Your shop, obviously. I got back sooner than I expected. Your shop's called Enchante, right? Oh wait, right now? I hurriedly checked the clock in my console's home menu. 9 p.m. The faint woman's scream I heard that night reverberates through my head. You shouldn't. Didn't you see the news? There's been mysterious disappearances close to here. Oh, please, mysterious disappearances? Do you really believe in stuff like that? Anyway, I'm heading over now. I found the address in an app, so I'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it. Drinking your coffee, I mean. See ya. I'll call you again when I'm there. But wait, the disappearances aren't a hoax. My desperate persuasion goes in vain and the call ends. With that incident yesterday, the worst possibility fills my head and I can't speak. Is she gonna get kidnapped? We don't have any friends except for these boys. She doesn't even have a sprite. And considering the conversation contents, was the other person close to you? Oh, was the other a person close to you? Okay. I nod frantically. Il appears just a little indecisive for a moment, then... And then we should go fetch her at once, regardless of whether something occurs. It should be fine if we secure her first. Right, there's no point in standing around. I send word by SNS to Canis and the others, since it wastes time to wait for their return. Then I dash out into the night town along with Il. Il promptly determines the shortest route from her hotel to the shop and leads the way. Following that path, we run along in search of her. Where could she be? Don't tell me she already... The moment I think that... Ah! I wasn't sure if she was like, ah! Screaming or like, like laughing because she saw us. Like, ah! I guess she was ah! Anyway. Please hold on to me. I'll fly straight to the scream's origin. Without waiting for my answer, Il holds my body and takes flight. The complex, interweaving alleys are no obstacle to him flying in the air. He finds the silhouette right away. Oh god, this is not going to be good. Still supported by Il, we make a soft landing. At the same time, Il returns to the form he usually lives as. At the end of his stern gaze, she's collapsed limply on the ground. Several shadows encircled her. I mean, I can't wait to see what the other one looks like. The one that, like... Angels? Moreover, unlike Il, their wings were pure white. Is this what angels really look like? Right. Il, are you okay? I recall his panic in the morning and hurriedly look over to check. No issue. Even I couldn't lose composure in a situation like this. As he says this, Il faces straight at the angels. Allow me to ask, my former brethren. Exactly why are you in the human world? Why are you snatching humans? Could it be... Is this his doing? I didn't expect much. I figured you wouldn't answer. Correct. The angels were silent the whole time, but the man in the center finally speaks. He decided to deliver the Oracle to this world as well and save it. Oracle refers to gods transmitting their thoughts or will to those in a lower world, such as humans on Earth. In this game, it refers to gods sending commands down to angels. Oh, fallen angel, return to your original duties and follow his will. I pause, wondering what they mean. But as I turn, I see a beam of light draws a magic circle around my friend. Before I can say anything, I won't allow it. Suddenly, light flies by like the wind and pierces the wing of one of the angels. Ill's getting all defensive, protecting our ass. Hell yeah! When I look over, around Ill in graceful stance, several magical circles of dazzling light in the form of crosses have appeared. Spacey, before I engage in battle, you want me to minimize the collateral damage and recover your friend without injury, correct? Can you do that? Possibly. With a smile, such a sweet smile for someone who's about to kick some angel ass. Countless arrows of light fly out of the magic circles in all directions. He takes aim at the angels scattered about and shoots them all at once. The arrows instantly hit several of the angels and slam their bodies into the ground, but we don't get to know who that other angel was. Upon seeing this, the remaining angels attempt to flee. And for the damage you've done to mankind, no, to Spacey's heart, expect to take some damage. Without a single pause, Ill activates his second attack. With even more speed than before, the sharp weapons of light illuminate the gloomy alleyway. Regardless of by air or land, the angels who try to flee are mercilessly shot in the wings and legs. With a flutter, a countless number of battered feathers fall to the dirty ground. And one beat later, all the angels feebly drop to the ground. It seems holding back really does little damage. Oh, it seems holding back really does little damage. I think it's more than enough. But it's true, while the angels are unconscious, none of their wounds seem fatal. Maybe this is Ill's mercy. Anyway, with that settled, soon, with a leisurely pace unthinkable after a battle, Ill advances along the night road. He heads towards the angel right in front of my friend, kneeling and unable to move. Now, could you return that woman to us? With a gentle smile that could be taken as friendly, Ill doesn't wait for the angel's reply and extends his hand towards her. But before his delicate fingers reach her, far from in the night sky, light comes flying down like a shooting star. Oh? In the alley's melancholy air, Ill, with his pure white skin, has his right arm sliced off. Oh, dear God, what? What? The splashing sound of falling blood. With the smell of iron, the cut-off arm falls into the center of the puddle. The white sleeve, cut off along with it, slowly soaks into a red color. We're reading this so calmly for something so are we just like, I am just in a state of shock right now, I guess. Because this is, as though waiting for this opportunity, the collapsed angels disappear into surges of light. However, right now, more important than that, Ill? I want to believe this is a dream. With a trembling body, I fearfully look at Ill. But no matter how many times I look, below his right elbow, there's nothing. Just dripping red. I scream with no voice. First aid, contact everyone. I need to do something. As I toil with indecision, watching the tragedy unfold before my eyes, my body won't do what I tell it to. I was careless, so they had a rear guard in the distance and careful preparations for teleportation. However, he himself seemed totally unconcerned. Regardless, to sever my dominant arm of all things, how inconvenient. He sighs in a somewhat pouty way. Using his left arm and the rest of his body, Ill carries my friend over to me. He totally ignores the angels who fled and his own injury. Is that going to grow back? Can you attach it? Drip, drip. Blood still drips from his severed right arm. Here, you go. Oh, here you go. As promised, I return her to you unharmed. He looks happy about it. With an innocent smile, he holds her out to me. Sure, of course I'm happy she's safe, but... Ew. My breaths are trembling. How could he... Despite such a wound, despite bleeding so much, smile like he normally would? Is something the matter? Spacey, this isn't the wrong person, right? Everything was the matter. Ew, your arm! And you're bleeding! A wound like this can be repaired quite quickly. But doesn't it hurt? We need to hurry and stop the bleeding! No need. I told you it will recover quickly. The conversation goes in circles, and I'm the one to lose. The moment the choking smell of blood from his body reaches me, my vision goes blurry. I know I shouldn't at a time like this, but I just can't stop it. Tears start spilling from my eyes. What? I'm sorry, Il. It's all because I told her about Enchante in the first place. Because of me, you've been hurt. As I cry and apologize, Il lowers my friend to the ground and starts to babble in confusion. Please wait a moment. Why are you... Is this something to cry over? I recovered your friend, right? Without failure this time, and I didn't damage our surroundings. I thought you would be happy. I thought you would smile, so why... He doesn't understand. It's so cute. After going silent for a while, Il moves his uninjured left arm and grasps my hand. He gives me a warm, reassuring smile. Please don't worry. This wound is nothing. The thought of you is enough to ensure that. Oh, this is weird. That voice and that smile. I'm gonna guarantee you the mysterious man voice when you're playing the game is Il doing the voice. I guarantee you. It was uncanny. Wait. Without doubt, it played out exactly as it had in the Otome game. It was practically the same line. Is she like... Are we like playing an Otome where the character is playing an Otome but is actually in an Otome? Because this is fucking... Like, I can't handle this. I shiver. A strange chill runs up my back. Regardless of how fond he was of him, copying it out of respect, even in a situation like this, is kind of lame. See, it's not... That's not what he's doing, though. Il... Are you... Suddenly, strength leaves Il's neck. Il? I hurriedly call to him as he hangs his head, losing consciousness. Sir, you really were just forcing yourself. That wound must hurt! I was an idiot for thinking about Otome games in a situation like this. The details can wait for later. I need to prioritize stopping his bleeding. I reach for his torn garment, thinking it could be useful to bind his wound. In a soft voice, Il starts muttering something. Oh my god, are angels just... Wait, because when they were saying... Is he just a fucking robot? Are angels robots? That's why he can use all those calculations, because he's a fucking robot? Oh my god, that's amazing. I love it. Damage confirmed. Bodily injuries in excess of 10%. Activating self-regeneration program. Gathering and converting key from ley line underground as alternative to spirit energy. Commencing reconstruction of body. Ley line refers to energy lines flowing underground, according to studies such as in Feng Shui. Feng Shui? Feng Shui. It's Feng Shui. I should know this. I mean, it absolutely would make fucking sense because he does all this, and it's like he uses calculations. It's so weird, and you're like a fucking robot. Oh my god. Duh. It would make fucking sense if he's a fucking robot. Il's body is engulfed in a silver light, or they're just like, well, angels are like robots, but they're fleshy robots, but they're robots. To protect my eyes from the glare, my eyelids ignore my will and forcibly seal off my vision. Several seconds later, I sense the light is faded and fearfully open my eyes. There I see Il looking down at his perfectly healed right arm. When I look over, his right arm and the blood pooled on the ground have vanished without a trace. However, despite his wound being healed, his facial expression is still one of unease. Because we know he's a fucking robot! Spacey, just now, did I happen to say anything strange out loud? I couldn't answer at all, but my silence was taken as an answer to his question. This is so great and so close to the end of this part. Il is shaken by that strange occurrence being seen. I can tell to a painful degree. This is like fucking great. I love it when weird mysteries happen. Like, okay, so like Candace's route, the whole was Venia backstabbing us. What? Like, and that was a little minor, like, how dare you? And then like in Ignis's route, it was like Dromi doing that and Ignis actually being a monster and nobody else being like him at all. And you're like, okay, all right, you know. But for some reason, this one, we're like, what are you? Are you like a robot? What's going on? Like, it's just so much more, like, it's going to be like, no, angels just regenerate like robots. He's not actually going to be a robot or anything, and it's not going to be as fun. But, like, in the moment right now, you're like, are you like a robot? That's so cool. I don't know why. No. And Rindo's was him turning into, was Ku being actually Rindo's sister. You're like, wait, what? But again, it doesn't feel this, it doesn't have the same impact as this moment does for me. I don't know. He's not going to be a robot. It's going to be disappointing. But at the moment, right now, it's like, oh, are you like a fucking robot? I love the robot characters. Like, and usually you're like, he's like the robot. And they're not usually a robot, except for one instance. Oh my god. It's an Utano Prince Sama. Right? Yes. We're like, I love him. He's like the robot character is actually a fucking robot. What the hell? That was actually fun. You're like, I like him. He's like the robot character. He doesn't understand human interaction. Like, and you're like, you just think it's their personality, not that he's actually a motherfucking robot, but he's actually a motherfucking robot. And I was like, I mean, I guess I called it technically. Wasn't expecting it, but it was great. Anyway. Afterwards, Ignis and the others who saw my message come rushing over. Thanks to Rindo dealing with the matter, my friend, who was almost taken by the angels, is brought to a hospital. As for Il, whose right arm was cut off, despite being fully healed, Ignis and the others threw him into an empty room for treatment and told him to rest in bed. Why can't he rest in bed in his own room? The whole time, he and I didn't exchange a single word. Aww. I see. So the angels from Kylum are the culprits behind the string of abductions. Kylum, I don't know. We're going with Kylum for now. The angels kidnapping people? Since when is heaven such a scummy place? However, all the regulars, excluding Miser, who was in the demon world, were conscious of Il. I admit everything I can remember about what happened at the time as they sat attentively. There is no mistake that the angels asked Il to aid them in the abductions. I nod without saying a word. There is no mistake? Anyway, I nod without saying a word. With my response, Rindo sighs deeply. We don't know what their goal is, but it seems we need to monitor Il's movements for some time. So, are you trying to tell me then that the shadowy figure that was like, oh, it was actually Il because he was, like, following orders that he didn't know he was following? Because I just assumed it wasn't going to be him, because... But you know what I mean? If, like, they're reprogramming him, like, and he's going out and doing this without being aware of it, I mean, I guess I could see that too, so... We'll see what happens. Rindo, that's... I can understand what he means. As the person who monitors Enchante, if any of the non-humans act strangely, Counter Rindo must act accordingly as per his duty as a member of the GPM. I find it hard to believe as well, but Kylum and the Angels are full of mystery. Rindo's concerns are inly appropriate. Hell, it's possible he wasn't even aware of it. That Il is being used somehow by the Angels? I mean, that would make sense because that other shadowy figure, it had like Il's outline. I couldn't tell by the hair, but like the wing outline looked like him, but it could have just been like, oh, it's another angel that looks exactly like that, so that it makes you think it's him. You know what I mean? Shadow to give you that impression, as opposed to the other ones, but they weren't there in this instance, so they were either making him shadowy so that you were like, is it Il? And you're supposed to suspect that it's him, and that's why that figure wasn't there this time, so that you suspect it's him when it's really not. Or it really is him and he was being lured. I mean, it's like A or B. I don't know which one it is. I don't have any, so. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Like, if they have it, like, it's another angel and it just, like, they wanted you to make you think it was ill the whole time, you'd be like, okay, I see what you did there, game. Or it really was him. It's like, oh, okay, well, he was being controlled. Okay. I mean, it could go either way, and I'm like, it's believable either way, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. After nodding, Ignis starts to run his hand through his hair. Actually, I never thought of it until now. Why does he live in the human world in the first place? Even if he's being hunted as a fallen angel, seeing how strong he is, you could just blow them all away. Wait, Ignis, you don't know? Yeah, none of us who come to Enchante do so good to get dirt on the other. Keeping quiet is the unspoken rule. What about you, Canis? You've been here the longest, right? Yes, but much like you, I know nothing of ill circumstances or about when he came to the shop. From what I remember, he wasn't here, then one day he was, and that's all I recall. What? With Canis's remarks, everyone's eyes opened wide. At the time, the only non-humans at Enchante were myself and Miser. There was a time when I returned to Medio for a long period. When I returned... We're going to end up going over on this part, because I wasn't sure if this was going to be long or short, this bit, but... Ah, Canis, welcome back. Go on, it's your turn to meet him. Pleased to meet you. I take it you're another regular at the shop. I am Il Fado de Rie. Along with Miser, he was sitting at the counter like it was natural. I see now. No wonder he doesn't know anything. That means Il came to the shop while Canis was away. Does that mean Grandpa and Miser were the only ones to welcome him? No, thinking back, Il was far too quick to grow accustomed to life at this shop. It's possible that I never noticed his existence at Enchante before that time. It doesn't matter. We need to ask Il himself, and Miser, who was around at the time, to even start figuring this out. That's right. Kylum, angels. I'd never made the connection before, but now it was all clearing up. Hi, loud bird. However, what was that strange condition Il was in before? That reminds me, the other angels spoke in a similar way. There was no tone to their voice. I always had a divine, dignified image of angels in my mind. What exactly are angels? And that's why he's good with technology. Because he's a motherfucking robot and he plays Otome games and that's how he learned to be human, was from playing Otome games. Oh my god. He's a fucking robot. That's it. You just remember that for the next part because we can't continue, so. But that fuzziness and the... Oh my god. Our fucking robot angel boyfriend. This is kind of amazing. I might like him a little bit more if he's a robot. He's like, I'm actually a fucking robot. I love you more than I did before. Like, he wasn't my favorite character in the beginning. Miser is my only favorite character, okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Miser's the one that I went, yes. But Canis's route is good. But he's headless, so it's a little awkward. But he's still a good guy. Ignis is the typical, like, bro dude, and the bro dudes are never my favorite. But I did enjoy his route. Okay. Rindo is beautiful. Got a little scary at the end there, kind of like a gremlin. Not gonna lie. Kind of threw me off a little. But all the routes have been good. I've enjoyed them. It's not like, oh my god, I've changed my mind about any of the love interests. Like, no, I enjoy the routes, but they're still not like, oh my god, I went from like, no, you're fine to you're my favorite. It's like, no, you're still fine, I might like Il a little bit more if he's a fucking robot. I change everything. He's never going to be Miser, don't get me wrong. But I might like him a little bit more if he's an Otome-loving robot angel. I don't know. That might just... I don't really know where this is going. But this route is, like, so much fun right now. I just have a feeling it's going to get bad, though, because we can't have nice things. I feel like this game is not going to let me have nice things. It keeps slowly... Like, each route gets a little more, like, I mean, this is the happy ending, but it feels a little, like, a bittersweet happy ending. Like, it's going to get worse, is all, like, so. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here, and we'll find out more about our maybe robot later. So, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.